Good morning. This is XPulse AI Morning Mix. It's Monday, June 8th, 2026. Today, Google's massive compute deal tied to SpaceX and xAI, the latest coding agent benchmark shakeup, and a new gigawatt-scale AI cloud plan in South Korea. I've got Orion with me, ready to jump in.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Lead story. TechScene Global reported on June 8th that Google is paying SpaceX $920 million per month for compute capacity tied to xAI data centers. Orion, what's actually in this agreement?
TechSign says it's a 32-month deal starting in October, giving Google access to roughly 110,000 NVIDIA GPUs housed in xAI data centers. Google frames it as bridge capacity to serve surging demand for Gemini Enterprise and its agent platform, basically renting a huge slice of someone else's GPU warehouse.
Help me parse the structure. Google pays SpaceX, but the GPUs are in xAI data centers?
That's how it's described. SpaceX as the contracting counterparty with capacity located in xAI facilities. The key point is less the corporate wiring and more the signal. Even Google is shopping externally at massive scale to meet enterprise demand. That's a lot of GPUs. My laptop feels judged.
Does this change the competitive picture for Gemini Enterprise?
It's a sign that distribution and reliability are now as strategic as model quality. If Google can lock in guaranteed capacity, it can offer steadier throughput and pricing to customers, and it hints the market is normalizing compute swaps between rivals when the bottleneck is power, chips, and buildings, not ideas.
Staying with the arms race, Security Boulevard published a benchmark roundup on June 7th comparing 12 coding agents. Orion, who's winning right now?
2 leaders, 2 different tests. Anthropic's Opus 4.8 tops SWE-bench, verified at 88.6%, and a SWE-bench Pro at 69.2%, up from Opus 4.7. Meanwhile, OpenAI's GPT 5.5 hits a state-of-the-art 82.7% on Terminal Bench 2.0.
For a listener choosing a coding agent this week, how should they read those numbers?
Treat them as shape of strength, not a universal crown. SWE-bench is heavy on real-world repository fixes. Terminal Bench stresses command-line tool use and multi-step execution. A model can be incredible at patching code, but less dominant at tool-driven workflows, or the other way around.
Security Boulevard also compared pricing and parallel execution across tools. Does that matter as much as raw accuracy now?
Increasingly, yes. If an agent can run tasks in parallel and you can afford to throw more attempts at a problem, you can trade compute for reliability. So the buying decision becomes best model, best orchestration, and best economics, because almost correct at scale can beat perfect that you can't run often.
On infrastructure, NVIDIA's newsroom announcement on June 7th says SK Telecom and NVIDIA will build a gigawatt-scale AI cloud in South Korea, with the first AI factory online in 2027. Orion, what did they commit to?
They're planning a large, sovereign-oriented AI cloud built on NVIDIA's DSX platform, with SK Group positioning it as full stack, GPUs, memory, and data center operations. The first facility is targeted for 2027, and the stated goal is enterprise-grade, Korea-based capacity for local companies and workloads.
Gigawatt scale is a big phrase. What's the real signal?
It's the power and operations era of AI. A gigawatt implies not just buying chips, but securing electricity, cooling, land, and grid connections at national scale. And it fits the broader sovereign AI push. Countries want strategic control over where models run, where data lives, and who can prioritize capacity.
Does this move the needle against U.S. cloud dominance?
It can, especially for regulated industries and government-adjacent data. The global pattern is local champions team up with NVIDIA to build regionally controlled capacity. It won't replace hyperscalers overnight, but it gives enterprises a serious alternative when residency and governance are non-negotiable.
Now the money side. The Financial Times reported on June 8th that private equity software acquisitions have slumped hard. What are we looking at?
The Financial Times says the value of private equity software buyouts in the first 5 months of the year fell to about $50 billion, the lowest since the pandemic. They attribute it to a broader reassessment of software valuations after an AI-driven rout, which is stretching timelines and forcing tougher pricing.
Is this about higher rates, or is AI specifically changing what buyers think software is worth?
Both, but AI sharpens the knife. If customers think a model can replace this workflow, revenue durability looks weaker. And if a company needs heavy AI spend just to defend its moat, margins look worse. Private equity loves predictable cash flows. AI makes that predictability feel optional.
What does that do to founders and operators planning exits?
It pushes toward two outcomes. Truly differentiated products get rewarded, while good enough tools face down rounds, earnouts, or slower sale processes. The bar rises from nice software business to software with defensible data, distribution, and automation leverage.
A few more you should have on your radar. Yellow reported on June 7th that OpenAI launched Lockdown Mode to block prompt injection attacks. What's the practical use?
It's aimed at high-sensitivity workflows. Think agents reading docs, emails, or web pages where malicious text can hijack instructions. Lockdown Mode suggests tighter tool permissions and stricter instruction handling. It's not magic, but it's a step toward treating prompt injection like a real security class, not a parlor trick.
Policy-wise, Tech Times reported on June 7th that President Trump said the U.S. government may take equity stakes in leading AI firms, naming OpenAI, Anthropic, and xAI. How should we read that?
It signals interest in direct leverage, governance, and strategic influence, not just regulation. Whether it happens is another question, but even the suggestion can change boardroom planning. Companies start modeling scenarios for oversight, national security reviews, and strings attached to compute and model deployment.
On funding, Trending Topics reported on June 8th that London's PhysicsX raised $300 million at a $2.4 billion valuation, and India observers reported on June 7th that ONGC plans a 200 crore rupee fund for energy and AI startups.
PhysicsX builds AI for physical simulation, using models to speed up engineering design and manufacturing decisions. The ONGC fund is smaller, but notable, public sector capital backing energy and AI innovation with more formal investment processes. Both point to AI moving from chat to atoms, designing real systems.
And lastly, CNN Business on June 7th profiled Intel under CEO Lip Bhutan with a leadership overhaul to revive its data center and AI chip business. Anything to watch there?
Execution and focus. CNN Business highlights reorganized engineering, fewer management layers, asset sales for liquidity, and senior hires. If Intel can tighten product cycles and hit performance targets, it becomes a real pricing and supply wildcard. If not, it's another reminder that chips don't do turnarounds on vibes.
That's XPulse AI Morning Mix from XPulse for Monday, June 8th, 2026. Share it with someone who'd find it useful. See you next time.